Vertical, not muted. Always gotta check that every week
Yeah.
because that happened a few times. Okay. Want me to start? You want to start?
I can start. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Turnbuckle Talk, of course, with myself and Josh. We just finished up with SmackDown. Before we get into that, man, how has your week been since we last talked on Tuesday?
It's been all right, man. Had a pretty solid week, honestly, and had a good long stream today. Watched Pro Wrestling Eve and then SmackDown, of course, and did some Wrestle Jeopardy with the community. So it was pretty good, man. Since last time we talked.
That's great. That is fantastic. Yeah, from what I heard from Wrestle Eve when I was able to listen in today, it sounded like it was pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. I was the one thing I will say, and it's only my second time watching. I was a little confused. The main event was what it was. It wasn't a bad match, and it was good. But I really thought they should have did the what was it? The Jamie Hayter Miyu Yamashita, I think is how you say it. I was saying Yamashita, but then I heard the commentary and I was like, I'm saying it wrong. That was a really great match. They went to a time limit draw, and then Will Ospreay, who's of course a producer of them, he's like their main producer, which is because this is based out of the UK. He came out and he had his whole headset on and stuff, and the crowd chanting 5 more minutes, and so he restarted the match for 5 more minutes, and then we went to another time limit draw. But it was interesting the way those two matches, like the both time limit draws, ended. So Jamie ended the first time limit draw basically looking like she was like a second away from pulling it off. You know, like she just, if she would have got her finisher in just a few seconds earlier, she had it. And then that was the same thing for the after the restarted. At the end of the second one, after the 5 minutes, Miyu was in that same position where if she would have just got her move in a few seconds earlier, she would have won. So they're definitely going to set up a rematch of some sort. But that should have been the main event. Like that was the match before the intermission. So they did like, it was a 6 match cards and they did 3 and then 3. And yeah, so that was my only thing. I was like, man, I know it was only my second time watching it, but that should have been the main event. Main event was still solid though, for sure. It was a Falls Count Anywhere match, so
Oh, nice. Now,
yeah. So I'm excited for Wrestle Queendom from Pro Wrestling Eve on Sunday. That's gonna be great.
yes, it is. That's one with Statlander and Charlie. Now, I don't know. I might have heard you was talking about it. Did Willow got challenged for her title or TBS, or was that for
So
something else?
yeah, so they've already had this announced. So it was already gonna be Nina Samuels versus Willow Nightingale, but they made it official today that it's gonna be for the TBS title.
And that's it on Sunday, right?
Yeah, Sunday at Wrestle Kingdom. So Wrestle Kingdom starts for us in America at, they said on the show at the end noon Eastern, but when and it's on their YouTube membership, so I've subscribed to watch their one today, which is $10. So hey, support indie wrestling, if you can.
Absolutely.
And so I looked at their lives for the memberships, and it's listed at start at 12:30 or 10:30 a.m. my time. So I was like, huh, they said something different there, but their live is scheduled to start 30 minutes after what they said. So, I mean, if it needs to be fixed, they'll fix it, of course. So, yeah, so it's either 12 or 12:30 Eastern on Sunday. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, from what I've seen, it looks like it's gonna be a stat card. I'm interested in watching
Yeah,
it for
here, I'll
sure.
pull up the full card. I always keep forgetting every match, but also having a lot of AEW women on here really is making this big.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like you said, Charlie, the former Dakota Kai, is finally returning since being released by the WWE. It's her first match, so she's just took a lot of time to rest. You know, she did some streams as well. You know, on Twitch, she likes to stream in game and stuff. So she talked about it on there. Why am I having a problem finding this darn card? Here we go. I think this is it. So we have the sudden death 16 match. Dash Chisako, Amale, Miyu Yamashita, Jamie Hayter, Alexis Falcon, and 11 other wrestlers to be named. I believe the winner gets to choose any title they want to face for in Pro Wrestling Eve. Eve tag team titles, Lolly, which is Holly Barlow and Lana Austin, take on Charlie Evans and a mystery partner, which it was revealed today, but I forgot who it was, and it doesn't say on here. Azumi takes on Sapphire Reed, and then, of course, Willow's Nina Samuels for the TBS title. Amira versus Harley Cameron, and they had a hilarious interaction today. They kicked off the show. Amira was in the ring being her funny self, and then out came Harley, like kind of hyping up the match with her. And Harley praised her for she does that little nose. She does that shit. And that's like her thing that everyone really knows her for. She like hyped her up for that, and then they had a tit off, which was funny because I think she like made fun of her for having big boobs or something she said, and then, so she just kept chest bumping each other over and over and over. It was hilarious. So then we're getting Shuri versus or Shuri. It's with an H sound, even though there's no H in there. Shuri defends the New Japan Strong Women's title versus Alec Windsor. Then we have the Eve International title, Chris Statlander versus Charlie, and then the main event is the Women's Champion or the Eve Champion Riho versus Session Moth Martina.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so a ton of AEW women's division on there.
Yeah, it's gonna be freaking amazing. I'm really hyped for it. So I will be live reacting to it. If you guys want to come by, look up Josh Vibes Up, Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. I will be live on Sunday afternoon watching it.
And I think Riho's even a former AEW women's champion, right?
No, so this one is RHIO, and I believe it's
Oh,
pronounced the same way, basically.
Okay, different Riho.
Yeah, she's from somewhere in the UK. She has a very thick accent.
Okay, nice. Still great card, so I'll probably check that out as well.
Yeah, it'll be really great. 10. If you guys want to watch it, do support them by watching it on their YouTube for Wrestling Eve, and then join their $10 membership is how you can watch it.
Can be not bad at all.
Yeah, just same price as New Japan, honestly. And of course, we had the show today, so two shows this weekend, which is why I was like, I forgot it was happening that first show, and I woke up and I saw like because I follow Pro Wrestling Eve and a lot of the women there on Twitter, and they were posting about it. I was like, oh man, I totally forgot it was about to start. I literally bought it. I set everything up in 15 minutes, bought it, fucking went live, got everything ready in 15. I was like, let's go. I want to watch it.
It's time to go.
Yeah, I was ready to go. We haven't done an all-day stream forever, so it was fun. Yeah, 8 hours.
So on the other side of this, wrestling news. I think we had a pretty big one yesterday.
Dogg reportedly left the WWE. He wasn't fired. Apparently, he decided to go ahead and just, I guess, quit, if you will, step away. And he was creative, and I think one of the head creatives for SmackDown for quite a while.
He was. I don't know. Do you watch the Unreal stuff by chance?
Oh yeah, I love the Unreal stuff. Me and Sarah watched it and just watched season 2. You know, back when it dropped. At the end of the year, beginning of the year. I forgot when it was. But we watched those, and another shameless plug. Check me out on Patreon. Josh Vibes Up. We posted a whole watch along to that. So if you want to watch Unreal and us reacting to it at the same time, there you go. $2.99. Cheapest plug. Anyways, yeah, so I love the Unreal stuff. So yeah, the thing that he got criticized a lot of by the people who watched Unreal were when he was pitching the mid-card title scene.
Yep.
Just he didn't really have a further direction than I believe it was Chelsea winning again. I think it was just what he recommended. And he was open, like, I really don't know I forgot how he worded it, but essentially he was like, I don't really know where we go from there, but that's where I think we need to be. Essentially, is the way I understood it when I watched it, and and I get it. He really, because then Triple H was like questioning, like, "Oh, we already, she already faced," and he named Zelina, and he named the names that he's like, "That's who we have there in that spot again." And Brian is just Dogg, just like, yeah, I don't know, just straight up saying, I don't know.
Yeah, he got real emotional, if I remember correctly.
There was another part where he gets emotional about. I don't know if it was that one specifically. It might have been that one. But yeah, where he's like, he gets really emotional about like direction they're going or something.
It was the R-Truth thing where he got real upset.
I think so. It might have been. Well, yeah, he got upset that he didn't know he was getting released and stuff like that. But like, I thought it was something else because I'd have to go back and watch. It's been a month and a half since I watched it, so I kind of already forgot because it's so much wrestling content we take in every day that it's easy to forget things quickly. I feel like, at least for a stoner like me.
So, with him leaving, do you see any chance of him doing anything else, or do you think he's just gonna relax?
I mean, it was reported he left on his own accord. So PW Insider said the word making rounds is that he made the decision to leave his position on the company's creative team. Body Slam added that the WWE is in the midst of some shakeups in creative on their writing teams. So they, I guess Alexandria Williams publicly announced that she's starting her new position as VP lead writer at WWE. That's kind of one of them there. I mean, and there was also a report, I think it might have been from Body Slam, Corey Hayes. He's a mutual friend of mine that I used to do some live reactions with. He's been into breaking news a lot lately. He's got some sources that he will share bits and pieces from. He's been pretty accurate, and he's was on top of the whole writing thing, like saying like the WWE does listen and stuff, and they are. So like back in, I forgot when, he kind of shared the screenshot of it today, like how he talked about it in the past, that they are looking at making changes to their writing crew, and like they are listening to the crowds, and that kind of got reiterated recently from him. And then of course then the Road Dogg news hit, and he's like, that's kind of the same thing I heard, that they were looking to make some changes, and he didn't say like they were letting him go. Of course, he was just saying that makes sense with everything I've been hearing. It's kind of type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, and shared his tweet from however long ago when he first brought it up. So yeah, so I mean, apparently WWE's listening again. Though SmackDown for me, which we're about to get into, was a SmackDown show tonight. It really felt like the kind of similar show. It had its moments that were good, and it had its moments that I was like, oh, rolled my eyes at, So, but yeah, I don't know. A lot of people in my chat were joking that, oh yeah, this is the last show Road Dogg gives us before he leaves, huh? Like, type of jokes. I was like, shit, I know, right? I guess. I mean, I don't even know if he's already gone, if he had anything to do with this one, but damn. So, yeah, I don't know, man. SmackDown hasn't been to me the best show. It's obviously, I mean, about 3 weeks ago, I missed it and went to a local indie show. I'm doing that again next Friday. Actually, no, it was on a Saturday I went, but I did miss the SmackDown. But yeah, I'll be missing SmackDown for this next Friday. So, shows you where I'm at with SmackDown. I'm rather go to a local show.
Yeah. Like I feel like the first hour and a half, maybe it was there. Like I felt good about what I was seeing, and
Yeah.
I just felt like the last hour and a half, and it lost me. I don't know why. It just did. I think it lost the crowd too. You could tell.
Yeah, they were better in Cody and Drew for sure. But I think it's just because they were reacting to the show that they were given. Like,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
I did have
thanks a lot.
someone, people love to point out pops and stuff, and I will too. I'm a mark as well, and I'll point out if there's like a bad pop for it. But it's usually if it's like an established star or something that I'll point out or something. So we had, of course, during SmackDown, we had the Open Challenge, Mello, and it ended up being El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. And that was a fine match. It wasn't even bad or anything. It
Yeah.
wasn't really outstanding either, but it wasn't bad. Just there was someone in my chat that was like, and the crowd goes mild or something like that. And I think it was Sarah, my fiance, who was like, they don't have to pop crazy for everything. My God. I mean, and yeah, there was no reaction, but it's understandable why there was none in that situation.
There was and I think it's because a lot of people like if they don't follow AAA, they might not know who that is.
Yeah, and that's 100% understandable because not everyone's gonna watch everything WWE has their hand in.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched AAA a couple times. I know him and Ethan Page has had a good feud. You know that from NXT. So I mean, if you don't watch AAA, you might have seen it on NXT. But if you don't watch anything but Raw and SmackDown, of course you're gonna be like, "Who is this?"
Yeah, so it's understandable.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought it was a decent match. I was expecting maybe it to be someone else, but when he came out, I was like, "Okay, this is not bad. This is us finally crossing AAA to the main roster. We hadn't seen that yet, really, in my opinion. I mean, with Mr. Iguana, we have.
Mr. Iguana, we've seen Psycho Clown and Pagano at the kind of start of it. But not as much as I guess lately.
So I felt like this was a good decision. Like this was, so if I remember correct, he's the AAA
Latin American champion.
Which would kind of be like, I guess the
mid-card title.
Mid-card title.
It's like a mid-card title, yeah.
Mid-card title versus mid-card title champion. Like it makes sense. Like it was a good match together.
Yeah. Yeah, so it wasn't a bad match. It wasn't really outstanding or anything. But it was solid, if you're just looking for some interesting matchups. That was one of them for sure. But I don't know, this whole SmackDown overall, 3 hours just kills it for me. Like there's times where it is really good and it flies by, but not as often as you would think. Again, I felt all 3 hours. The Cody Drew match was fine. I was wishing it was longer since it was commercial free, but it was like 25 minutes. So like the last commercial happened right after entrances and right after the ring announcements. So we got through all of that. Like, yeah, cool. Here we are, commercial free. And commercial free right after this last commercial break. I was like, oh my fucking God, really? So we started the match with a commercial.
Yeah. And then we come back from commercial and they're fighting up the fucking ramp.
Oh yeah, Drew's trying to leave and Cody has to go and bring him back. Yeah.
So was that the start of the match? Like
I guess.
Of course I know for 3 minutes they were just standing there talking shit to each
Well,
other.
I know
Like,
Sarah said at one point, I don't know if it was that match, but I don't think it was, but at one point they went to commercial during a match, and she's obviously international in Australia, so she's, in theory, when a match is happening, supposed to continue seeing the match. It went to commercial even on Netflix.
it did. I watched it tonight on Netflix. It went anytime there were maybe 2 matches. It didn't go to commercial on Netflix.
That's crazy to me that they're starting to pull away on Netflix from the matches.
The tag team terminal match, until it got to like the last 2 teams, it went to commercial for me.
Wow, cut you off through the match so you couldn't watch. You know what? And I have a problem with that too. My biggest problem, and they did this last year, but in the women's division, but it turned out they ended up being they're still a tag team to this day. But they did it with Bailey and Lyra, the way Priest and Truth won today. They put them together, put them in this gauntlet, but they didn't run the gauntlet like Bailey and Lyra did, because that was like their first time ever even teaming.
Yep.
So they were the last team, and they fucking won, which I think me and my community, most of us called it out. I think they were even our prediction leaders, because I always do the prediction right before the match or right as it starts. And I love them. They had great interactions in the Judgment Day a couple of years ago, but and especially the way they did it. And obviously, you would feel there's going to be a bookend to this, but I don't already like where it's going. MCMG, who've barely been featured up until a couple weeks ago, and mainly just backstage. Finally in a match, they start off the thing. They get eliminated because the fucking ref doesn't see they do the whole rope spot, like Shelly puts Saban's foot in the rope or whatever, and the ref didn't see it. Then it led to the backstage segment where he was like checking on Johnny with Candace, and that's when Johnny finally got up and went to the thing. But Saban was all mad that he's like, "Oh, the first thing you do is come back here and check on Johnny."
Yep.
And he's like, "We need to talk," and then they walked off. So I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? They're gonna do a T storyline of breaking them up now?" And we know how long that went on for Grayson and freaking Theory. And this is one of the best tag teams of all time, in my opinion. And of course, they came in and won the titles in like 3 weeks, and then lost them, and then done nothing. And I'm not saying that they should always, but like, how do you have this team and they're just main eventing and like not like main eventing on the main event of SmackDown, but like they're just on main event mainly or backstage segments, and then now they're finally doing something, and now they're teasing that they might not be getting along or in agreement. I know it's just the start, but like, fuck.
Yeah, and I feel the same way because I called it out. The second I seen him backstage and he came up and was like aggravated, upset, I said, "Here we go." I said they're gonna start trying to split Motor City Machine Gun, which I don't think needs to happen.
I don't hope not. I'm not gonna go say they are going to, but it just feels like a
It
tease
seems
that it
like it,
could. Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, you have all these tag teams, and we're focused on the MFTs and the Wyatts. For
Well,
the
and then
like,
while predictable to have the Wyatts win, which made sense in storyline because of where this is going, they also end up getting screwed over by MFT, who are, well, I mean, I guess they're freebirding it, if you will, but they had Tonga and Tama come out and cost them. And so it led to Berto and Garza, who ran the whole thing, basically. They came in third, but they went, all the way from there to the end against Truth and Priest. And of course, Truth and Priest get the win because first time team should get a win and get a title opportunity right off their first match. It makes perfect sense. So I know this is sports entertainment, but man, I hate that.
I was pulling for Berto and Garza
Oh
so
yeah,
bad,
I bet.
man.
I would rather them over them, Priest and Truth.
And when Priest came around and gave the big, I guess the I guess it's his version of the pounce or whatever, and threw Garza across the table, I was like, well, here we go.
Yeah.
They're gonna win.
So, I mean, I'm sure we'll get funny segments and stuff out of those two, but like immediately getting a title shot to get an MFT. And it feels like unless MFT finishes with the Wyatt somehow before they face Truth and Priest, this is just going to be random fodder.
I like Truth, I like Priest, but I feel like we could have put the Street Profits in this. Like, honestly, I know Montez is probably out with Bianca, making sure she gets her hand right and all this.
I guess.
They've been in NXT shows. They've done this. They've done that. it's very doable. Like we can make this work.
What did you think of the opening with Randy and then Trick coming out?
I like what they're doing with Trick, man. Like the whole
Changed his entrance
spinning
a tiny
on,
bit. Yeah.
the whole spinning around and ore farming right there with the lights on him. Like it's fantastic. And him and Randy, like they got good mic chemistry,
I mean,
especially.
it didn't really last long, but yeah, at least tonight.
So I'm enjoying it. Like him and Javon are the same way. They seem to interact good together. So I don't know where they're planning to go with it, but
Yeah, you
I
got so much
truly
people
enjoy
on the
it.
roster. It's like, man, I feel like a lot of these guys that like just came up to, like probably Trick and Javon, probably might get stuck in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal the night
I
before.
mean, if Trick wins it, technically Mello won it last time, so we
And
know
then
what can
Bronson
happen
won
in a
it in the
year's
past.
time.
Jey Uso won it in the
Yeah,
past. So you got good track record at this point with guys last few years.
and
So
I mean, technically everyone that you just named, except for Bronson, due to unfortunately injuries,
well, I
has
mean, got
had the
put in
mid
that
card title.
faction, which is a main event
Yeah,
push. So
yeah, but I mean they've had mid card and then world title, intercontinental or US, either way you look at it. So
yeah. So yeah, we'll see
it's
where that goes with those guys for Mania. I mean, there's rumors right now that apparently so they didn't make it official that WrestleMania will start at 6 Eastern this year instead of 7. So there's rumors at this point that they could add and make it like a 14 plus match card. So it's already that. Like it's already usually 6 one night, 7 another. That's kind of the way, or 7-7. So that's already kind of the way it is. But there's talk. I meant to say 16. I think I said 14. 16. So there's talk of it being a 16, which would make it 8 matches each night, which I'm fine with. Like right now, like so when I went to 39, it felt so fast both nights
yes,
because they were, I think, just over 3 hours, like 3 hours 15, 3 hours 20 minutes, and then
yeah, yeah.
40 I went to, and 40 night one was a bit, it was longer, especially because the main event went like 40 plus minutes. Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth. Night two did go by. It felt like, I think it was definitely short, but it felt like, so I, as attending live, I wouldn't have hated if it was a tiny bit longer. Like night one felt long, and then it was cold in Philly that night.
Oh
So
yeah,
like,
but
we definitely felt the length of that match. But like, yeah, for sure, I wouldn't mind that being like 4 hours each night.
I mean,
It's WrestleMania. If you're gonna run two
yeah,
nights, but I was fine with the 3 hours, for both two. It just
I
felt
mean,
like interesting being there live and like being like, damn, dude, we're only down to like 2 matches already for this night. Like, fuck.
it
Like, this shit
it
moved
is
by quick.
WrestleMania, and if they are really listening to us, a lot of people. I know myself. I don't know if you have been complaining that we're only getting 4 matches, 4 to 5 matches on a card for a pay per view now for WWE. Like I can understand them doing 6 or not for a pay per view, maybe 7. But I mean, you got enough people, you got enough titles. Fill this fucking card. Make
Defend
it,
all of them at Mania.
yeah, make it worth us paying
Do the
$39
what
for
United
fucking
States, and tonight
ESPN.
we had, and then they set up, they had the new tag champs do their celebration, all that. They got their
Yep.
pyro and everything, and then of course we saw Charlotte Bliss come out, and then Julia and Kiana. Which I was bummed that it was Julia and Kiana because I'm glad they didn't win, because I was like, man, Julia needs to defend that U.S. title because
hmm
she's been in this tag division again.
hmm I, as much as I would have liked Julia and Kiana to win, but because they would have been so indifferent. Charlotte and Lexa just had the tag titles. Let's push
And why
someone
isn't
else
Lyra? Speaking of the team I brought up earlier when they were like went through the gauntlet, why is Lyra and Bailey not getting the opportunity when they brought this up on social media and everything?
because they're in the Intercontinental Battle Royal on Monday.
Yeah, but
It's Lyra
still.
Bailey, Raquel, Ivy, and someone else.
Yeah, but
I think
still,
it's AJ.
I think that they should have been part of this.
They should have. And I think there's maybe some injuries that may have pulled them away, having to fill holes in matches.
Maybe.
Um, so I mean, like I feel like Roxanne would have probably been put in that one of their spots,
Yeah,
but of course we know she had that surgery on her back. So I mean, they have to, I guess, shift when things like that happen.
that's true. Um, so I'm just glad that she's. I just hope she defends it. All the titles need to be defended at Mania. Like
Yes.
Wrestle fucking Mania, man.
I mean, I don't care if we got 2 tag matches that are fucking ladder matches on night 1 and night 2. Make sure every title's defended and everyone gets a shot at it. I don't care how we do it.
Let's see what else went down tonight here. Getting past all the tag team stuff here. Oh, that's right. So, Sami Zayn is like kind of teasing a heel turn right now.
He is. And I'm thinking Randy has planted the seeds for him to do something
100%.
selfish.
So,
But
so earlier in the night before the Orton interview, or like Orton backstage, we saw Sammy go up to Cody, and essentially started complaining that Cody gets everything he wants. Like said, like how he lost Chamber, which should have ended his opportunity, but now he's getting this match where Drew handed to him tonight for a shot at Mania main event, and Sammy just started complaining about it, and Cody was just like, "Wow," like, and then Sammy's like, eventually it led to like Sammy like, sorry, I came here to wish you luck, but it's obviously that was already teasing that they kind of already butted heads a little bit, a week or 2 weeks ago or whenever it was, and so yeah, and then the backstage interaction with Randy, he goes up to Orton, he goes, you say, you talk about Cody like he's your best friend in the world, and then he turns and you drop him like he's nothing, and he says, how, how do you do that? And Orton asks, he's like, do you want the truth? And he goes, yeah, please. Sometimes you just got to be selfish. He says, would that make me a bad person? And Randy says he doesn't know about any of that, but he knows it makes him a 14-time world champion. So definitely telling Sammy, like, if you want what I have, you got to be selfish and do what's best for you, even if you want to maintain those friendships. So Sammy's like, that's fair. And he says, well, good luck, at Mania. And he says he does really want to see him get his 15th title. And Orton says he believes in Sammy and that he really thinks that he can get where he does want to go. He just might want to try listening to the voices. So definitely teasing Sammy going back to heel.
Yeah, I mean it's been a while, in my opinion.
What, since the Bloodline were heel essentially before he turned at Rumble 23, I think.
Yeah, I mean
even a little bit before that because they kind of were like tweeners with the whole Uzi stuff. So
yeah, I mean technically, if you want to think about it, I mean, I guess when he was trying to join the Bloodlines, when he finally turned heel.
Yeah.
And then
well,
halfway
I mean,
through,
he was kind of heel before that too with the whole Shinsuke stuff. And
yeah,
Claudia
when
and
he
Cesaro.
was, and then that's when he done that promo, and he called out AEW with Corey Graves doing the interview in the ring, right?
No, probably around that time.
Intercontinental champion, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he was like heel, and then he kind of was like babyface, like lovable guy, and then joined the Bloodline kind of as that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, I'm for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because a lot of us thought before, when they first like announced Rumble in Saudi last year, we were like, oh, Sammy's winning Rumble. And then of course as time progressed and storylines progressed, a lot of us fell out of that because we were like, makes sense at this point unless they want to shock us. And it didn't happen. So I mean, we got Mania in Saudi next year, so
God, he's gonna headline WrestleMania in Saudi.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It was weird. So like after Randy, after Chamber, Randy and stuff like, and Rhea got like, oh, WrestleMania main events are decided, which is interesting because it's like, isn't that the whole point of the Rumble? So at the end of the day, we won't know. Obviously, Roman and Punk is gonna be night 2 main event. There's no way that's not. And it's gonna. That's what makes it hard to see what's gonna be night 1. You got Cody, Randy, you have Rhea, Jade, and you have Liv, Stephanie, which are all your big title matches. Of course, you have Brock as well doing an open challenge as of right now. Whatever the fuck Seth's gonna be doing. So.
No.
So yeah, I don't know what's gonna main event night 1.
Randy and Cody open night 1. Just like Jay
that would be
Gunther did.
really interesting to me. I don't know. I feel like Cody would campaign to not open. That's just I don't know for sure. I just feel like that's what he would do.
I know you're not. Roman will not open. I think Roman and Punk. Not.
Well,
Punk,
that's night 2 main event. Yeah, that's night 2 for sure.
So you probably have Cody open, and then you have Stephanie and Liv close.
As much as I
Which
would
would be
like that, I really think they're gonna go with Jade and Rhea's. If they were to go to a women match, that one I could see being the main event. Like, and
I
not just
would,
in my opinion, I just think that's what WWE would think more than Liv and stuff for some reason. The story is already more interesting at the moment because obviously Jade and Rhea just started because Rhea just won last Saturday. So,
yeah.
we'll see. We have 6 weeks. We have a lot of time to
As long
build.
as long as they give us a women's match closing, honestly I don't care which one it is. Night one.
Rhea
Like
would make sense to main event because I mean, last one was Bianca and Sasha, and that was night one.
yeah, and then what the triple threat was halfway through, maybe something like that.
Triple threat. Last year's was opened.
Yeah.
Open night
It was
two.
open night too,
Yeah,
that's
I believe so.
right. Okay. So yeah. Hopefully,
Because
I mean, they have the opportunity to do something good with that.
yeah, so because I believe John and Cody main event at night two. So yeah, I think that triple threat open because the men's
They
triple
did.
threat closed night one, and I think the women's triple threat open night two. I believe. So after that whole interaction with Randy and Sammy, though, we saw Alistair and Zelina roll up, and he says not to worry about it because it's just the nature of the beast.
I, what does that mean? I don't understand. Like Alistair, I love his character,
Are we
but I
just
don't know.
redoing the cross stuff and giving it to fucking Alistair with Sammy? Is this what we
God,
just had leading
I
up to the
think
fucking Rumble, dude?
now that you said that, I think we are honestly.
We'll see, I guess, next Friday if we get more interactions with Alistair and Sammy. I'm assuming we will, which will lead to a match. But I feel like it's going to be the same shtick where he's going to be telling Sammy, oh, you got to listen to those voices like Randy did. He's going to be like cross. He's going to be trying to fucking get in his head and bullshit. You are that guy that you think you are, man. Watch. It's not maybe not to a T that, but it's going to feel fucking similar. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I hope you are too. I really do. Unfortunately, but I don't think you are. But I will say, when Randy was cutting his promo at the start of the show, I know I'm backtracking a little bit, but when the lights went off, I really thought it was fucking Alistair. I even
That's
said,
what I thought too. I was like,
I said,
Alistair?
son of a
And then it was
it's
Trick.
Alistair. But yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
true.
just,
So yeah,
I
we'll
don't
see
know.
what that happens with those two. I'm assuming that's where we're going though.
I like Alistair Black's character. I do, but like, I feel like he's gotten lost in the mix right now.
I mean, he has a long feud with Damien that lasted forever, and I saw Santi would always meme about that and say he's stuck in the Wepaverse.
Yes.
So I mean, we'll see. I guess I don't know. I mean, I liked it initially because it was facing a former world champion, and I was like, that's great. You're pushing him up against a former main eventer, or I would still consider Damien a main eventer, but.
I mean, they put him against Randy after that too.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been a little bit since he's really had. I mean, he did the Randy stuff, but it really didn't do much. That's the one match or whatever they had. I don't even know if they had a match. I don't remember anymore.
It was last Friday, actually. Yeah.
I'm so bad at memories, I guess, remembering that shit. But yeah. Anyways, SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen. No, but we'll see. I guess it's just him and Sammy. We'll see where it goes.
I don't know. I'm hoping they do something with it.
So we were talking about Johnny
Yeah.
Gargano earlier. So he got, he was backstage, and we saw, MCMG, or at least Shelly, checking on him finally, and it eventually led to Johnny getting up. He's like, "I'm Johnny. I need to be Johnny freaking wrestling again."
That's right. Yeah.
And so he goes out to the ring and has this rah rah
Yeah.
I'm Johnny wrestling promo, only for Oba Femi, because he challenged anyone in the back. So Oba Femi answered it and beat his ass in like a minute and a half.
Mm-hmm. Who did?
The former NXT champion against former NXT champion was a 2-minute match squash for Oba Femi win.
And now he's back to upset depressed Gargano.
Yes. So I've been curious where this is going, and obviously he finally wrestled and lost in very short fashion.
Where's it going from now? That's my question.
A lot of people in my chat were like, "Well, see you in AEW, Johnny." I was like, "I don't think so yet. This is definitely going somewhere."
It has to be going somewhere. They just can't be torturing
I
this
mean, they
man.
did the whole Jackass storyline with Tommaso just for him to leave
It's true. And
with
then
Ilya.
he could leave tonight. Who knows? I don't like what they're doing with him right now
And same with
at
Candice
all.
and Jordan last week was only like 3 minutes or whenever that
That
was.
that is true.
Oh, yeah, man, SmackDown.
There was one positive thing about SmackDown tonight. Extremely positive, in my opinion.
Rhea and Jade's promo.
Maybe
That
it
was it
wasn't as
wasn't.
good as that.
I mean, that wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I thought I
Yeah.
I actually, with all the drama that happened this past week about them like on social media apparently being like legit shooting on each other,
Yeah.
and we saw Chelsea and Piper get into it, and apparently it went all the way back to what happened when. So I don't even know if we talked about this actually. If we did, sorry, but I don't remember. So did we talk about how PW Insider brought up the whole like that stuff was a continuation of when she got injured when Naomi attacked her? Was before we knew Naomi attacked her. So she was out during that time, and there was like, some sites were saying she was injured. Some sites were like, no, because she's been at the PC and stuff. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that, but
So PW Insider says now, I think, because I think initially they were saying she was legit injured at the time, but now they're saying that she was at the PC at that time to let things cool down from that initial interaction she had on social media with everyone. Because there was like those tweets from like Chelsea about like, I don't know, there was like a few women that tweeted out. They were like subtweets. They didn't like at anyone, or it wasn't storyline, but there was like these tweets that were just like being critical of someone. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
I do
anyways,
remember
apparently
seeing that.
that's
Yeah,
what led to her being pulled, was just issues with the locker room. And then of course we had the issues. I guess what was real, supposedly, those tweets this past week.
that
And
was
then
her
of
and
course,
Rhea.
like, and then Rhea even posted like a story saying like she was legit pissed or whatever. Um, that she eventually deleted right away. But anyway, so their interaction tonight felt tame compared to what we saw on social media. I mean,
Oh
they had
yeah,
some good
yeah.
lines, but
Well, and it's not that they're scared to act of what they're saying by no means. It was more or less that like this is real, but we've got to get it to where we can get to WrestleMania and then throw hands. Because I feel like
yeah, but
that's
I feel like that, like, at least you should have incorporated some of it. Maybe they weren't okay with it. Maybe that's
well,
why.
remember the
But
last time that something got incorporated, it was all
well, that
script.
wasn't okayed. I'm talking about things getting
Yeah,
okayed, like we saw with Punk and Roman. Obviously, that line about his dad got okayed by Roman
that's true.
himself.
Yes,
So, like, I would think that they could try to come to an agreement. Like, maybe they couldn't. That's why it wasn't like that tonight. And maybe they didn't want to copy what they did with Roman and Punk right away and do something really personal with Jade and Rhea right off the bump. But it's
and
like,
they
well,
also
that's what happened on
shook,
social, so why not?
yeah, and they also shook hands twice, which was odd.
Yeah. So it was a solid promo, but I was like, damn, that was in my head. Like, I didn't like say it out loud or nothing because I thought it was fine. But I was like, damn, that was so much more tame than what they did in the social. So which makes me
Yeah,
believe that what they said on social was legit, like shoots,
yeah, it could have. Yeah,
because it felt way
absolutely.
more tame than that. But overall, solid segment. I am thinking that this could be probably a women main event, like an actual main event for one of the nights.
Yeah,
I feel like it could be
I,
big
I
enough
wouldn't be
too.
mad about it.
Their size, their looks, I think they could get it there. I don't know if they
Remember,
will,
one's
but
built to wrestle, one's built just for the physique.
yeah, that was the whole promo basically. Like, Jade
Uh,
saying like, "Yeah, you're big, but I'm bigger, and here in this part, and your body
yeah,
work's not impressive and stuff like that." And Rhea was like the opposite, like, "Oh yeah, you are bigger than me here. Your shoulders do seem bigger. Maybe you are, can lift more than me or whatever the fuck she said." And then she's like, "But I'm gonna basically beat your ass." And then she stole her line because I'm that bitch. So
yeah.
it just felt tame, but it was pretty solid. It wasn't too long either. It was like maybe 5 minutes tops,
It wasn't long at all,
which is fine.
and
I'm fine with it not going overly long either.
you don't need long promos to build matches.
I mean, and we're
In my
6 weeks
opinion.
out, so you
Yeah,
have a lot that you could do between now and then.
exactly.
So it felt pretty solid. I just do wish there was at least something in there that made them feel like they were starting to like they already are. You could tell getting each other's skin, like in kayfabe. But I wish there was like that
Mhm.
one line that really made them like just mad dog each other a lot harder. Like the shakes made them squeeze a lot tighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I feel like
I
that
do.
didn't happen. We also had a backstage segment. We're getting, I don't know if it's next week, but we're gonna be getting Kit Wilson and oh shit, who is it? Kit and it's like a triple threat, I guess.
Ilya.
Yeah, and Ilya. Oh, is it a one-on-one? I thought it was gonna be a triple threat.
Well, Miz told him that he could handle it.
That's right. That's right. So
So
yeah, so Ilya's gonna murder Kit. Did
yeah,
they make it
Uh,
official? I didn't see the graphic for it for next week.
they didn't make anything official for next week, which they normally announce,
I thought they
except for Jelly
did.
Roll.
Yeah, well, no,
Jelly
they
Roll.
did. They did announced. I could have sworn because they did. I could have sworn. I'm gonna see now. You got me all fucked up.
Well,
March 13th. I should put. I had one here before. All right, I swore they announced some shit, and now my shit's not loading. Okay, not videos. I was somehow searching videos only.
uh, I, I'm not pulling up.
Oh, Jade
What the
versus
hell?
Meechin got made
Yeah.
official.
Okay. Yeah. That's right.
Jelly Roll and a contract signing between Cody and Randy.
That's right.
So those three things got made official.
I do know what was made official tonight.
That you're stupid. I'm just kidding. It's a joke.
No, that Mike the Miz has officially 1 week to help Danhausen.
Yes, or he's cursed. So that was a very funny backstage segment. So Nick Aldis, it says here on the cage side, which I'm using for the notes. It says back from commercial, Nick Aldis is walking backstage when he looks like he smells a fart. No, wait, it's just Danhausen. But of course he wants his Danhausen's met, and he meets Nick, and they formally introduce each other, and they're like, "Oh, nice to meet you" and stuff. And he says, "I just need help getting that Hall of Fame induction. I need someone that's gonna take me straight to the top." And then he's like, "You know what? I got a perfect idea." So I guess he sees the Miz standing down there, so he starts walking. And Danhausen, he has this little sheet of paper that's all fucked up and crumpled up and all looking. And he starts walking. He's just like just the way he walked with his weird ass look on his face. And then once they stopped there, he just stood there and he just stood
It's
there while
so
he talked to
good.
the Miz. It was hilarious. And then of course the Miz was like, "Oh, he saw him and freaked out." Nick left and all that. And Danhausen told him like, "Yeah, you can help me." And then like the Miz like went through all of his stuff, like, "Oh, I'm this, and like Danhausen like mimicked him and stuff. He's like, "Yes," and he like grabbed his fans and he's like freaks out when he grabbed his fingers, and he's like, "You're gonna help me or else you are cursed." And he gave him until next week, and he's like, "And remember, don't forget what happened to Dom on Monday."
Yes, and so that's great that they're leading off of the curse is what cost him the title. So I'm guessing Danhausen is going to be a floating free agent, just going around
Oh,
cursing
I
people
hope
for a little
so. I hope so. He's a gret comedy character. He deserves just to go on randomly appear like that all the time. They should do like almost OC stuff, like or like what we talked about last on Tuesday. We pull out from under the ring, or like I remember one of the early Dynamites where like it was like a crazy falls count anywhere type match, like multi-man, and Mike Santana was fighting someone backstage, and they go hit a door open, and OC's just standing in the bathroom. Like they need to do something like that in WWE. Like it doesn't have to be like during a match with them, but like something similar to that. Like someone accidentally goes into the wrong door, and Danhausen's just there doing something weird, or just standing there awkwardly. Then they just close the door. That'd be hilarious.
while. Don't open that door. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, they're already doing really well with Danhausen.
They are. I mean, if he doesn't get a match, he doesn't get a match. I figure at some point, him and the Miz are going to end up in like some match, or he's going to be a manager for the Miz will
I
be a
want to
manager
see
for Danhausen.
Danhausen do like not to a T, but at one point start mimicking the Miz, almost Damien Mizdow esque.
Yes,
But like not like that, make his whole gimmick, but like maybe one match he just does that one match and then he never does it again. You know what I mean?
because he's wanting to get all the accolades that Miz has. So I got to do
Yeah.
this, got to do
And
that.
then just
Yeah,
move on to something different. Yeah, like that'd be so funny. But yeah, I'm excited to see because Miz is funny in his own right. So I'm excited to see where these two can lead to.
I'm hoping it carries over. It probably will, and he's probably going to be doing something with the Judgment Day Monday. He may show up at NXT. Who knows?
Oh
This
my
man
god,
may.
I never thought about that. Yeah. So I'd love to see him go to NXT and like just interact with anyone down there too, all the young talent and just
him and Tatum Paxley would have a good interaction.
Tatum and him, or him and Chelsea on the main roster would fucking hit it
Yeah,
off well with some funny shit.
they
I
would.
think for sure. Oh, speaking of, before we get into the main event, speaking of, Chelsea in the wheelchair, did you see that during the main event taping, Jordan Gray supposedly got hurt, and she tweeted out the photo of her in Chelsea's wheelchair, saying, "Thank God that there was a wheelchair close by," and Chelsea was just
I
there
did.
like, all like, "Hey, here's my chair for her." So hopefully she's good. Apparently it was an ankle injury. People are saying in the arena. It seemed like.
Yeah, I seen it was posted. Like, I guess it was like a fan clip of them in the ring trying to help her. And then I seen the picture you're talking about. I couldn't find anything else on it all night. So I
Yeah.
don't know if
So
there's no updates yet.
I don't think we'll get an update until she gets it looked at. Like if it's like to the point where like, yeah, we need to get it scanned, we probably won't hear anything until Monday, if not Tuesday, if
That
it's
makes
that
sense.
bad. But if it's like just, I don't know. We'll find out. I think if not over the weekend, by the beginning of the week, if it's that bad.
Hopefully it's just like a rolled ankle or something. Like,
Yeah, hopefully at worst case scenario. But yeah, we'll have to wait till then. But so yeah, that sucks. But I thought of since I brought up Chelsea, it made me think of the wheelchair photo that Jordan posted. But yeah, so the main event, the no commercial break, Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, went exactly how I expected it. We had the ref bump on Charles Robinson. He went down, and then it led to a new ref coming out, and then Drew ended up headbutting him, taking him out. And then, of course, Charles eventually got back up. But while that first ref was down, or while both refs were down, Drew tried to use the chair. Jacob came out and pulled the chair away, stopping him from using it, which led to Cody getting the upper hand. And that's when Charles got back in the ring. And Cody is now officially a 3-time WWE champion. So,
he came back to
yeah.
finish his story, and by God, he finished it 3 times tonight.
Well,
We're
I
on
mean,
book 3.
I think we're getting back to an era where we're gonna have a lot of shorter reigns. Like not like all short reigns, but like you know what I mean. There's gonna be reigns that are gonna be like that, a couple months at most, a month at most. Um, I had
He was
people like in
someone
my
new.
chat call it a transitional champ reign. I was like, that's not transitional champ. Transitional champ is when like a babyface were to lose just for another babyface to get it because that they want to put it on, but not want to have to turn either of them to get it on them. That's
Yeah.
a transitional champion when you have a babyface or it's your heel lose it to that babyface just to drop it to that other heel or whatever, so they don't have to turn the other guy. That's what a transitional champion is. Drew was not that. He just lost it right back to Cody. I see why it would be called that though. He only had it like a month, so.
Yeah, I don't know. The only way this makes sense to me is if we see Randy actually punt Cody and turn to that side of Randy that he's gonna have to be to beat him.
I already see
And
it
I don't
making
want to.
sense in that they've already given us teases the last like year and a half, if not longer. Like the way the interactions that Randy and Cody has usually tend to end with Randy staring at the title, pretty obviously.
Yeah, it did.
So,
Since
and I
what?
feel like
What's this?
honestly, this is a bigger match than Cody versus Drew or Cody Drew, Randy or Cody Randy Jacob Drew. Like any of those, I think this is the bigger match for sure. With the history they have, we have at this point we're gonna have 5 SmackDowns to build this.
Yeah,
If you
and
want
I
to
mean,
cross it over to Raw, you can too. So that leaves 10 shows altogether.
and technically, and it may end up being WrestleMania. It might have been a different pay per view back then, but at one point it was Cody versus Randy versus Ted DiBiase.
Yeah, that was WrestleMania.
Okay, so that's when that split. So I mean, we're kind of just we're not continuing a feud, but I mean it's bringing this one back that's
Oh,
got past history.
yeah, 100%. So it makes sense in that route. So I think it is the money match. Like they teased it quite a bit, and not in the sense of them like getting each other's faces. That at least I can remember, but like they've had the interactions where you're like, it's there that Randy wants that back, So, yeah, I'm excited for it. I think that was the right call.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, I'm just glad we're not getting the triple threat fatal 4-way that we thought.
Yeah, and I
was
do feel
gonna
bad
be.
for Drew. Like I get why a lot of people, and plus there's the Drew stands in general, but I'm really do feel bad because like yeah, he got when he did win the title and COVID hit, and then so his first defense or his Mania defense was or when he won it at Mania, it was no crowd, and then of course his whole reign was no crowd, and then he got it at Mania 40, got cashed in on, and then of course finally got it at Rumble. um, or whatever. Was it Rumble? I don't even remember. Um,
Yeah, I think so.
he won it, and then it was just a month reign, so lost out on his first defense.
Yeah, it does suck. I will say. But I mean, he'll get another title shot at some point.
Yeah,
He'll
and
win
it's gonna
another
definitely
one.
be him and Jacob at Mania. So
Yeah, him Jacob will be a hellacious match. I think it'll be better than him being in the title picture.
I hope it's a gimmick. I hope it's like a false count anywhere, or some type of shit like that.
Yeah, have him fight into the crowd like something crazy. Like we've seen Drew throw Jacob through a table when him and Cody were supposed to have a match.
Yeah,
He's interfered in the steel cage. Like obviously this cannot be a regular sanctioned match. Give us the ability to fight in the crowd. No count out, no DQ.
Hell in a Cell even shit.
Yeah, something crazy. I
Yes,
mean,
we haven't had a Cell since Drew and Punk. Anyways, that was already over a year ago.
yeah, Hell in a Cell. Yeah, that's true. So
So
they
give us
have
some
good
type of
opportunity.
gimmick. Yeah, for sure. But overall, it was an okay SmackDown. I give it like a 3.5 out of 5. It wasn't the best.
A solid 3 for me.
And I even feel that's generous, honestly.
Probably
Um,
is.
so Dynamite week, let's talk about Dynamite from Wednesday. Another really solid show. Texas crowd showed up. El Paso, Texas crowd always shows up. We had
Yes.
2 world title matches. MJF defended his, Tekla defended hers. We had a debut. It was a fucking insane show. We have a lot to talk about for this. We had a squash match even. We usually don't get a lot of those. I mean, we do, but this one felt more squashy than normal. Start with that. We had the debut of the Inspiration, at least on TV. Um,
Yeah.
and they did their. It was. I brought this up on stream. It was the Iconics to a T. Obviously, not the same music,
Yep.
but it's the same gimmick. It obviously I haven't kept up with them outside of WWE much. I knew they were in TNA quite a bit, Knockout Champion a few times, but I didn't really watch TNA and see a lot of their stuff. So I feel like right now, just off of that one match, I was like, man, this is like the Iconics to a T. They're like the Inspiration. They do the pose, the same entrance. Obviously, they have the theme by
Mm-hmm.
Harley. But I was like, man, this feels the same thing, and that's fine, and it was good. But like, and some people are like, don't fix what's broken. I'm like, nothing needs fixing. It just things need to evolve.
Yeah. I was not expecting a squash match
Yeah, they
with
lost in a
this.
minute.
Yeah. I mean, and then they did the run it back thing, the restart their entrance,
Yeah, they
which
did the run it back and they started like dancing or whatever, and then they got attacked. So yeah, that was I was like, oh no, they're running it back.
yeah.
I don't know. We'll see where this keeps going, but I don't know
I
if I liked
fear
how
that
they brought them in and right. But that's what they are, is comedy. So
they are. And I feel like they'll probably end up on Ring of Honor. Nothing against going to Ring of Honor, but I feel like that's where they'll go for a little bit.
ooh, let's trade. Give us Athena and Billy and put them on ROH.
Ah, that'll work. I second that motion. Do we have a third? My God.
um. So yeah. So I just not a fan of that match or that whole part of the show. That was like the only thing I was like, eh.
Yeah, that may have been the thing, the worst part of the show.
But then that also followed another squash match, or preceded another squash match, where Hangman Page defeated a guy named Marty Snow in about 6 seconds. Obviously, it led to, the promo on MJF and everything, and he comes out and whatnot. But yeah, so that was another thing that happened.
Yeah, the Hangman promo was good. On MJF, I will say. I wonder now if there's gonna be the Don Callis family helping MJF at Revolution.
I mean,
'Cause-
they attacked, so during this whole promo, they came out and beat down
yeah,
Hangman, so I'm assuming he paid them off, and we've seen him pay off people in the past, like LFI, to help him and stuff like that.
he has. I have a lot of people in my community that talk about him. They want him to redo Dynasty, the group, but with like Hammerstone and then someone else. I think it's Manson.
I have the perfect idea. Okay, so hear me out. There's this wrestler who's out injured right now, and his name is Wardlow. Now he would be the perfect bodyguard for Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
It would be.
Never been done
Yeah,
before. Just saying.
has not. And then somewhere down the line, he could turn on him. It was a whole another storyline.
We'll start with seeing how they work together. No, but I don't know if I want to repeat the same shit unless it's Wardlow again.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't, I don't know. I feel like they've kind of put themselves in an odd situation with this match, Hangman and MJF.
Oh, so
Well, because if Hangman loses, he can never challenge again.
no, that's false. The
Is that not what he
stipulation.
said?
No. So in Denver, they did a coin toss, and whatever it landed on is what it was going to be. So it landed on heads, but then it was revealed that MJF's coin was a trick coin, and it was double sided. So it was the same side. It was you had no choice. It was always head. So because of that, Tony Khan made it a Texas death match because MJF tried to weasel his way. So it's a Texas death match.
I thought in his promo he said that he couldn't. Maybe I misunderstood the promo on Wednesday, but yes. So maybe it's not as bad as I think.
No, it's just a Texas death match. That's all it is.
Okay.
So it's obvious
Let's
MJF's
find
gonna
out.
win. If it was they weren't gonna do the Cody thing for sure. So if they did go that route, I had 100% that they were gonna have Hangman win. But now that it's a Texas death match, 100% MJF's gonna win.
Okay.
That's at least my opinion. Yeah. So Texas death. But yeah, so we saw, Fletcher, Davis, and Okada all blindside Hangman and work him over. Jet Speed made the save. Of course, Horsecock. I mean, I said that way too casually. Jet Set Rodeo. I couldn't even think of their actual name. Came out and made the save. Of course, Don Callis came out and got his family together. And this led to them actually making a match official that wasn't announced beforehand. And that rarely happens in AEW. They very rarely will have something go on the show that leads to a match later on in that show. A lot of the time it's already announced. So stuff that does go down, it's happened because something's already going to happen between them anyways. So this was one of those rare occasions that something happened that led to a match. But this has turned into a title match for the main event for the trios titles. So, and Tony made it official. So that was very random.
It was. I think this is maybe the only second time that it's happened.
Or something.
If that, yeah. So I like them trying to add that aspect to the show, but I like that they don't do it all the time.
Yeah, I feel like when WWE does it, it's like, so tonight they had Cody Drew, Mel Open Challenge, and then the Tag Team Turmoil. So 3 matches announced, and we had 4 overall, I think. But I feel like it's funny. There's shows where we'll go and it's a lot of just talking segments announced, and we don't have matches announced. So then a lot of matches get announced, because of segments that happen, and then backstage segments, and they lead to matches on the show. It's like, damn, do they GM and kayfabe? Do the GMs not have a plan for the show and just wait to see what the wrestlers are gonna do backstage? That's crazy. In kayfabe, obviously, but it's so I do like the way AEW goes about it more.
Yeah, I like that Tony, and you could find it on probably Twitter right now or X. The card's out. 95% of the
Oh
cards
yeah,
already not.
Yeah, if Collision, usually Collision, they'll finish announcing a few things, but yeah. And sometimes he'll announce for the last few things of the day of the show too.
Yeah, and I it's normally about what 6 or 7 matches, maybe
5, 4 or 5.
Yeah,
Not every week that many, but yeah, they've gotten better at mixing promos and matches. I feel like because for a while it was just match heavy and a lot of shorter promos, but they've gotten a lot better at doing promo segments. I feel.
But what I like is we know what we're going to see, and most of the time they don't sway away from it, unless they have what was it? Brody King 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, had a match that was I don't know what they called it. It wasn't. It was something different, like a standby match is what they called it.
Oh, it was where he squashed some dude. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
just a
but
standby match that they have just in case. In kayfabe, a match goes short, goes by quickly, and they have time to kill.
yeah, I like when they add those in. So I mean, I like how they it seems like they've changed stuff up for this year.
Well, I feel like they brought that up before too, because like on this Wednesday, I forgot who came out. I don't know if it was Brody again, but someone came out and he's like, "Well, you were." I think it was Brody, and they were like, "He was gonna have a standby match tonight, but instead he asked for mic time or something like that."
Yeah, and that's when he cut the promo on Swerve, challenging him because he said he's the most dangerous man in
Yeah.
AEW.
So yeah, so I mean, yeah, those are pretty interesting too when they do that. But I feel like they've done standby matches here and there. I think that's what they considered that match that Maya and Hyan took that Tegan and them didn't want.
Oh yeah, that would make sense then. They just probably didn't call it that then.
Yeah, I think that's what they call their their squash matches against the local talent standby matches.
Makes sense.
But yeah, so that was what set up our main event. Um, we also had, of course, starting off the show, MJF and Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight, man, what a signing by AEW. He was in New Japan and TNA, and now making waves in AEW. Wasn't really making waves as much in TNA or New Japan, but man, is he sure making waves here in AEW. Obviously, he lost, and we knew he was going to lose since MJF and Hangman's official in Texas Death and stuff. But man, he looked really good in this match.
There were several points in the match that even though, like you said, we know Texas Death is happening, but like, holy shit, they may throw us a curveball and have Kevin not win. Like, that's how impressive he was in the ring. And it wasn't that MJF was trying to put him over. I think it was just
Well,
he
it
was
probably
out
was
there.
in the sense of the wrestling style, yeah.
Yeah, but he was like I can't even like really explain it, but the coast to coast, stuff like that. He was showing out in
Yeah,
the ring.
he has the best coast to coast out there, bro. I love his coast to coast, and the UFO splash is great too. But that coast to coast is always so clean.
Yeah, and when he first did it, I think that was the first time against Darby in the Continental Classic. That was that was nasty, and he just keeps improving it every time we see it.
What? So I forgot to pull up the YouTube chat, and I just pulled it up. So a lot's happened
Yeah,
tonight.
a lot has. I didn't know if you had seen it yet. I just seen it on X.
So the one that caught my eye more than anything is Conan had a leg amputated.
That I didn't see. No.
So Conan apparently had a leg amputated. My fiance said.
Oh wow.
Mercedes lost to Persephone, which I'm not surprised about.
Yep.
And then also Triple H has confirmed Cody Orton will be a main event at Mania, or at least he's called it a main event on social media.
The one I seen was Persephone. I seen her beat
I
Mercedes.
figured that was gonna happen. I figured. I
I'm,
think that's where we're going to her losing all the other titles now.
I mean, I don't know how many she's got left.
7 or something. She has quite a bit. She had 13 at one point, so
Oh, I know. And she's still not back on AEW yet. So when she comes back,
she'll be
she'll
titleless.
probably be titleless and heading for the AEW title.
But yeah, so back to Dynamite. What else do we have after Kevin Knight? Max. Oh yeah, he put on the diamond ring, and then that's when Hangman came out and Speedball and all that, and Speedball laid him out. And then we had the War Dogs. So this was interesting. So the War Dogs versus Darby Allin and Cassidy. They go by the Dogs. They got announced as instead of War Dogs. It was a solid tag match. It was kind of a typical Darby OC match. They ended up getting the win over the Dogs, which kind of surprised me. I thought the Dogs would get the win. It was a pretty hellacious match, but David Finlay showed up, shillelagh in hand, and he helped the Dogs lay out Darby and Cassidy. And after that is when Tony made it official on social media that the Dogs are all elite. So Tony must have been paying Jericho a ton of money because they have signed so much fucking talent in 2026, and it's only March.
Yeah. I mean, he is just flooding the signings, and not in a bad way. He's just not signing random people. Like, he is signing some top names, in my opinion.
So, and apparently they're not dual contracts. They're just straight up signed to AEW. They're not signed to New Japan, but obviously with the partnership, they probably could still do stuff with them. But
Yeah.
yeah, so they are all elite. And there was a report that came out. I forgot from what site, PW Insider, Body Slam, Fightful. I don't remember who,
Mhm.
but supposedly he was offered a contract, but it was to NXT and it wasn't a main roster deal. So it's interesting when you look at, apparently that happened to Kevin Knight. He was only offered an NXT deal. That wasn't main roster money. Now David Finlay was offered that, but WWE did give one to Royce Keys, the former Powerhouse Hobbs, and a few others. So interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess I can understand why they want him to go to NXT, and not because he's not ready for main roster, but I feel like they were wanting to put him in the group with his brother, and maybe just see if that would work for a little bit before pushing him to
I
the main
wouldn't have
roster.
liked that personally. Like I get
I
it, and
wouldn't have either.
he could add a lot of talent to that main roster division for the man in NXT, and I'd probably help a lot of guys. But I thought in my mind, he might have saw that and was like, I'm not trying to help others right now. I'm trying to get
Yep,
mine.
that's exactly what it was. And
Maybe I don't know.
I think his dad was more or less for him going elsewhere. I
Well,
don't
I
think his
mean,
dad tried
Dad
persuading
probably
him.
wants just him to be happy. I mean, most parents I would assume
Yeah,
would.
absolutely.
Fightful says apparently that he was never contacted about NXT, which came from Meltzer.
Oh, well, okay.
So who knows? He said, she said at that point then. But yeah,
But
so Finley shows up. He's part of AEW, and we got the 3 former Bullet Club leaders now signed to AEW.
yep, I mean, we're just missing 2 more, and one of them probably won't come because I think he's in a contract with WWE, even though he's retired
Well,
and
I
going
think
into the Hall of
he's
Fame.
yeah. Well, I think he's
Yeah,
fully
yeah,
retired, and he wants to do what that.
yeah.
So, oh, apparently Sarah was incorrect. Anyways, about the not contacted by NXT. Anyways, so yeah, so he signed with AEW. And I'm excited for him. Him and when Jay White comes back too, you could have a story right
Oh
away
my
with them because it was
god,
David who attacked him to kick him out when he left.
Jesus! And Jay White is healed, right? He's ready to come back.
Not that I'm aware of. If he is, I hope
No,
he is, but I haven't heard anything about that.
I wasn't sure. I know. Was it? Maybe he was just at the New Japan event.
Yeah, he was just
Yeah,
there for Tanahashi's retirement, and he just came out and hugged him, and that was it.
yeah. In this Clark Connors Gabe Kidd match, like I've seen them throughout New Japan. I ain't really watched a lot of their matches, but together these two are dangerous by themselves. And now that they got Finley over there, I can only imagine what they could do in the trios. I don't even know why we're gonna have the ops anymore. Like I don't think the ops can slow these three down.
There's one person that I wish from the War Dogs that he retired, but Alex Coughlin, my God, was he fucking menace? And I don't remember. He was young too. He's like 20 something, 28. Retired last year. Man, if he didn't retire and would have came with them, dude. You've never seen him? Look him up, dude. He was stiff as fucking crazy.
Alex Coughlin. Okay.
Yeah, so he was part of the War Dogs too, but he retired last year for I don't know exactly why, but he retired pretty young. But yeah, he would have been great. You would have liked him.
Yeah, I'll look him up for sure. Because like I said, I didn't really know a lot of these names until I started watching AEW. Um,
How dare you
so
not know wrestlers?
God, I know.
Fake fan. So Moxley and Hechicero was good, but not as good as I expected it to be. I thought it was gonna be crazier, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I figured Hechicero would try to like torture Moxley in more of a submission style match, but it didn't go that way.
Then Moxley and Takeshita had a stare down this time instead of what they had on Collision, where they kind of had a little pull apart. And here on Dynamite, they just had a stare down after the match. Little AEW stare down.
This match is going to be good at Revolution. No time limit. Just whoever can finally get the win.
They should make it a no. I'm sorry. They should make it a first blood match because Takeshita would win that easily. We haven't had a first blood
5 minutes
match in
in.
wrestling in a long time. Like AEW hasn't even done that.
Well,
At least in the
I mean,
main roster. I guess on the main two. I don't know if
yeah,
TNA or like any of New Japan or any other, Hog or any of them done it, but
I don't. Yeah, we haven't seen one in quite a while, actually. Yeah, you're right. We don't get a lot of those gimmick matches anymore. We don't get exploding barbed wire either.
Well, after the Kenny one, I don't blame him. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we get Texas Death, which is insane. So why not give us First Blood? They're like, because all of our guys bleed pretty easily, we can't. But I think that'd be a good gimmick for Moxley to catch, honestly. So we saw Brody, like we talked about a bit ago. He came out, and then Nana came out. And then of course Swerve tracked him from behind, and he hung him with the fucking chain on the rope.
Hung him for a while too.
Yeah, he was like legit turning purple, I thought. Yeah, he said he had to send a message to Kenny. Now he's got to send the same message to Brody. It's all talk about being dangerous, neither to actually do it. So that's going to be an insane match. I love that Brody King, after losing to MJF, still is fighting in the main event picture, feeling like a big thing.
Yeah, he is. I don't think he's done being in the world title picture, which is good. I'm glad they didn't just like put him back down towards the bottom. I feel like after we get past Hangman, after we probably get past Swerve, and then probably Kenny. I know that sounds crazy. It's gonna take that long, but then if there's a title change in there, we'll see Brody again.
Brody wishes he could get past Kenny.
Well,
Sorry.
not Brody getting past Kenny, but like what I mean is like Hangman versus MJF. Then we get past that, and whoever's champion goes against Swerve. Whoever's champion goes against Kenny. Then whoever's outcome, that's when Brody gets put back in. I don't feel like they're gonna drop him down to the TNT title or anything else.
I
I think
wouldn't
they're gonna
hate
keep
that, though. He hasn't had a singles title in AEW.
him and Fletcher. Wouldn't be bad.
No, that'd be amazing, honestly. But obviously they're on the road to Ciampa and Fletcher again.
Yes.
But yeah, so Bandito made the save at Swerve after hanging him and stuff, and that's finally what backed Swerve off. But yeah, that's gonna be a crazy match. I think that might be a gimmick match too, honestly.
It could be. What type of match would you want it to be though? Because like he's hung him now. You can't really do Texas Death. Do you do a dog collar style match?
You could do dog collar with the chain or something like that. Yeah, that makes sense with him being Brody King and doing the
Being a dog, yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. There it is, dog collar match, but make it a chain.
Okay, that works. Brody would probably maul Swerve in that.
We had a backstage with like the Death Riders with Daniel and Wheeler finally showed his head, finally took off the hood and showed the world without it being taken off by someone else. And then Marina, of course, calling out Tony and stuff. So that was, I don't remember everything from that promo, but yeah.
I don't either. We also had a moment backstage with Renee, that was Bandito and Andrade. Well, they were being Bandito was being
I didn't care
extremely
for that.
nice with Andrade, and Andrade was like, "Are you a fan? Do you want to take a selfie?" Kind
That's
of
so
like
stupid.
not worried about Bandito, which kind of like after everything Bandito did, and like in my opinion was like 2025 Wrestler of the Year, had all these standout matches, and he's just getting overlooked. They're playing it as he's overlooked in this match. I didn't like that.
I mean, I get why they're doing it, but I just didn't like the promo itself.
It may have been the promo that was the reason I felt that way, but I feel like this could be for the. This is for the Ring of Honor World Title, right? Or is it just a singles match?
Nah, it's just a singles match.
It could easily be for the World Title.
Yeah, but Andrade shouldn't be regulated for ROH.
And you don't want Andrade to lose. So do you have Bandito take this loss?
Yes.
Okay.
Easily.
I mean,
after you have him already beaten Kenny and Swerve, I mean by cheating, but still.
Yeah. Then he has to. What if he'll cheat to win this one? Then.
Well, I mean, I think he should, but yeah, I wouldn't be against it. But then, yeah, then you would have the case he should fight for the ROH title.
Yeah, that's true too.
I just don't want him regulated at ROH.
I don't either, but we'll see. I mean,
because they're making him feel like he's going to be in the main event scene, so I don't want him to be. Oh, main event scene of ROH, yay!
Which we only get to see every now and then. So yeah.
Yeah, and I don't watch it weekly.
No, no.
Yeah. So we had a Tommaso Ciampa. Oh no, that was okay. We had Tekla first. Tekla versus Thunder Rosa. This was an okay
Rosa, yeah.
match. Tekla's a very good heel, so I think they made a good choice by putting a world title on her. I just thought it was surprising that she beat Statty when she did. I mean, I guess that was the point.
Yeah, it was a surprise. I just hope they don't take the title off her right away. Because I know she's got a rematch against Statlander at Revolution. Do believe that was made official.
Yeah.
Um, I'm impressed with her heel title work so far. She's been a great heel since she
Yeah,
debuted.
she had that good promo on Collision against Thunder and Stat. And then of course, and she won this clean too. She beat Thunder, no help from the Sisters of Sin.
Nobody came out. They came out after, of
Yeah, they
course,
came out
but
after. Yeah,
I mean, yeah. And then there was a point in this match where Thunder Rosa put up a good fight as well.
yeah, she did. It was an okay match. It wasn't really a standout match, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a title defense squash match. It was actually a good match.
Yeah, it was back and forth for sure. Got some decent time. So it's funny because obviously AEW does overruns, but this basically went to the top of the hour, like basically right there, like maybe with like 10 minutes left to the top of the hour. So we're
Mhm.
almost 2 hours in, and obviously we still have the six-man, the trios. I mean, title match. So after that, we had a Champa promo, talking about Fletcher and all that stuff, and then FTR came out, and they were like, obviously they have history from NXT days, with DIY. And he says
Yep.
they're just here to welcome their old friend back, old friend to AEW, since they heard him say he wanted to be a top guy. And well, there's no better way to be a top guy than to surround yourself with top guys. But of course, that he was just thinking that he hated Dak's guts 10 years ago, and he sure hates his guts today. And he shushes Stokely up. And Dax says that you don't speak to Big Stoke like that. If you got a problem with Big Stoke, you got a problem with me.
Yep.
So it just led to them getting essentially pulled apart, like, hey, not nothing and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think at one point Dax was like, "Well, why don't you go get your buddy Briscoe, and we'll have a tag team match or something?" And which ended up going into Ciampa versus Dax because I think he pushed him, hit him, something like that.
No, they didn't have a match unless it got announced for Collision. That is.
Yeah, because Dax said, "I'll see you at Collision."
Oh, okay, okay. But yeah, they're having a one-on-one then. I
Yeah.
didn't. I guess I missed that part. But yeah, Tommaso said that he understands that they have a no contact clause with the Bucks.
Oh yeah, and
Excuse me, I yawned, random yawn. And he says, but he didn't assign one, so that's when he hit Dax and set up their match for Collision. Um, and then we came back and we had Tony Storm who busts into the trainer's room to check on OC because he had got beat down. And then she got some promos on the War Dogs and stuff, which was funny. But then yeah, then literally the top of the hour is when we finally started our trios title match, which was crazy because that was, I mean, we get an overrun every week, but it was like we got like a 15-20 minute overrun this past Wednesday.
do you think Tony should push for the show to get a 2.5 hour slot?
No,
I mean, I because we go over every
if we're
single
already
episode.
doing it, why do we have to make it official?
I mean, I guess that's true. I don't think it would change anything.
I guess for the people who DVR it in the DVR days, but I mean, just get it max and you watch the whole thing on there if
Yeah,
you're in the US.
because if you watch it on TBS or TNT, Impractical Jokers comes on right after, and then like if you watch Impractical Jokers and you want to only watch that, you come on at 10 o'clock. It's not on. I guess that would be,
It's a rerun
but
anyways at that time. It's not a new episode.
yeah.
They're fine.
I don't know. I just feel like if they push it to 10:30, they won't. It won't be as bad. It won't be a bad show either way.
I mean, I agree. I just don't think it needs to be officially 2.5 hours. I like the fact that sometimes it's just over 2 hours. Sometimes it goes 2:15. Sometimes it goes 2:20. Sometimes it's literally 2:07. Like, you know what I mean? I like that it's not a
Yeah.
specific.
What would happen is if it did get slated for 10:30, it would go off at 10:45.
Exactly, and that's just fucking long.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do. If you're listening, that's not the idea. Scratch that. Keep it at the regular 2 hour show.
Yeah,
with
it's
a little
fine
bit
where it's
of
at
it.
now. It doesn't need to be officially 2.5. It goes around that length sometimes, but it doesn't need to be. And of course, they do their specials. We're like, oh, Collision will be the third hour tonight or whatever. But it does not need to be officially 2.5
No,
or 3 for sure.
because then you get like nights like this where we've sat through 3 hours of wrestling and it was only an hour.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
So
But the main event at Collision was really good. But we ended up with the Don Callis family winning the trios titles from the Jet Set Rodeo.
I don't know. I guess I understand because the Hangman match, but yet again I don't understand because we've had multiple champions before. We've had champions going after the world title as trios champion. Samoa Joe just did it a couple months back.
I do like that the trios titles are actually being defended right now, though. I felt like when the Death Riders had
Yeah,
them, they were just on them.
yeah, but is the Don Callis family going to defend him? Because
I
Okada
mean, Jet
hasn't
Set
defended
Rodeo
since All
did,
Out.
so. No, I get that. I'm not a big fan of people holding multiple titles either when they have a good sized roster. But I feel like it's just gonna go more towards them picking on at least Okada picking on Takeshi, like, oh, you won the New Japan TV title. Well, I have the fucking trios and the international or the whatever title now.
And I did it with Takeshita, and
But I never
we're
thought of that. You're right. He has not defended the international title in quite a while.
yeah.
Well, he did the
Since like
Continental
Takeshita,
Classic, and that's when he relinquished the Continental title, and then he lost in SC2.
but at
So
All Out he went against Takeshita and
Speedball,
n- no, it was the Luchador. What is his
Dorada.
name? Dorado? Yeah. Yep. Because he was the underdog that I was like, I'd be crazy if he won because they're trying to build a Okada and Takeshita.
They're still definitely building to Takeshita Okada 1-on-1.
Oh, they are. Yeah. Because Takeshita will leave because now it's Proto Okada and not Proto Teska. How they said those?
Uh,
Pokada is how they do it now. I can't remember.
yeah, it's Proto Okada, but I don't remember how it was Proto something. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah. I don't either. But either like they're just gonna rub it in his face. Okada is at least. Fletcher won't. And it'll slowly just maybe not 6 months ago, maybe it was. You kept telling me it's not gonna happen till All In. Well, we're getting closer to All In. I think you're
I
right.
mean, it's not till August this year,
Yeah, I know.
but we still have a while. It's only
Yeah, but
March.
they
I
got
think it's already
that's
March,
enough time.
really.
That's enough time for them to build it.
Oh yeah, I mean they've been
Got
building it for like a year already plus.
They got Revolution, Dynasty, Double or Nothing, All In. Maybe one in between. I don't think so though.
Yeah, I don't remember honestly. They have like 9 pay-per-views now. But yeah, so that was AEW. I thought it was a solid show. I obviously since I was at the one the week prior, I'm holding that one up high on the pedestal. But it was a solid Dynamite. I'd probably go to I'd say 3.75 to a 4 out of 5 this past week.
Yeah, 3.5 for me. Yeah, I don't feel like it was as good as the Denver show, and I wasn't at the Denver show, so
I thought it was a good show for sure, but yeah, definitely not a Denver show. And it's hard for me to say anything's gonna be that good because I was there live. But yeah, solid wrestling this week. We got Wrestle Queendom on Sunday, which I'll be reacting to. We got NXT tomorrow night, UFC
yes.
tomorrow night. There was House of Glory tonight. I know Shotzi faced actually I forgot who she faced, but Shotzi was on the House of Glory show. There was a ton of wrestling tonight. So wrestling, man. There's so much of it nowadays.
Yeah, a ton of it. And it's gonna continue to get that way. I feel like the more we find that's interesting outside of WWE and AEW, we'll be watching. So
Oh yeah. So where can people watch you outside the podcast?
outside of the podcast, of course, you can find me here on YouTube as the Kraken Wrestling, on Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. All as the Kraken Wrestling.
And you guys can find me, Josh Vibes Up, Twitch, Kick, YouTube for the live streams, live reacting to Raw, NXT, Dynamite, SmackDown, all the main American wrestling shows, and a lot more lately. And I tend to do that. We'll watch sometimes CMLL, all that stuff. But find all my reactions, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all those places. And yeah, I think we're going to call it a night here, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.